So thank you so much. And Fire Chief?
Good morning. To be clear, I'm working on being a fire chief. I'm not there yet. There is a process.
Technicality.
MCM interviewed then nominee Bailey at Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Headquarters in December. Here's what he told us about the approval process at the time.
What I hope is that the nomination and the rest of this process is about whether or not I am capable of aligning this organization together, focused on a common mission, which is reducing harm and adding values to the communities in Montgomery County.
But earlier this week, Bailey's name was withdrawn from consideration.
Knowing that we did not have the votes on the council, there was no point in putting it back out there.
So the decision had nothing to do with the Inspector General's report.
I can't talk about personnel issues. I think you guys know that. But I'll just say I was ready to put them forward again.
On Thursday, International Firefighters Union President Jeffrey Buttle sent an email to local news outlets, citing numerous attempts to head off the Bailey nomination for questionable conduct that he says Elrich ignored.
Actually, we went back through HR and the reporting processes in the department. Not a single thing that they listed appeared in any record of having been ever raised with personnel or raised with the fire chief, ever. And so it's very interesting that these suddenly pop up. I'll point out that at the same time they're doing this, they're trying to push me to hire a fire chief who's running a five station department and was a former union president for 11 years. So I would say that, their motivations were pretty much trying to knock off one candidate and make room for another candidate. And it really bothers me. He talks about a letter he wrote. He never mentioned anybody's name but the past fire chief. And he asked me to fire him, which we weren't going to do because he knew he was going to be leaving. If I asked him verbally about the candidates, I mentioned Charles's name, and he said he could work with them. He actually, at one point, when he was dissatisfied with the way the previous chief had handled discipline issues, said he'd prefer that Charles handled those issues. We did that. So I would say this is very complicated, but you're not seeing everything to this. And I am not interested in belaboring this. The union succeeded in getting what they wanted, at least in terms of not getting this chief. I still feel, and I know that most of the people who did the interviews feel this is the best, certainly the best qualified candidate we had.